Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Dream Career Talk Show. Dream Career Talk Show is about building your dream career, which is much beyond getting a job. This show is to help corporate professionals expand their context, get clarity, direction, hope, inspiration, and of course, the right steps to build their dream careers. Here on this show, we are going to have industry experts coming from various domains who will be sharing their knowledge, their experiences, their challenges, their failures, their successes, so that it can help others in building their dream careers. Can academic excellence alone help us grow in and win in our careers and life? Exams, ranks, grades is what we have chased for a long time in our lives. But is that sufficient to achieve big goals in our life? How to grow in your career? What skills do you need beyond academic excellence? What are the key areas you need to focus on? Our today's guest, Gautam Krishna, is a technical project manager with vast and diversified experience handling IT projects. He comes with 16 plus years of experience in the IT industry, in which he has spent more than 13 years working with Agile methodologies. He has worked with some of the top companies in the travel, hospitality, and consumer packaged goods domains. Gaurav is working on an initiative called Education Agility with a vision to see children and youth prepared for life during their education and not just to make a living. He hosts a podcast titled Learn and Unlearn as a part of his vision to bring education agility. Gaurav, you have been doing some wonderful job. Gautam, you have been doing some wonderful job out there, right? And happy to have you here. Welcome to Dream Career Talk Show.
Thank you, Fatah. It's great to be here.
Great. So why don't we start with because I've been seeing you have been talking about and sharing about your vision, mission on social media. So why don't we talk about like what is your vision? What is your mission?
Okay. So, my vision, as you rightly mentioned a couple of minutes ago, is to see a world where our children are prepared for life and real life challenges during their education and not just prepared to make a living, not just to earn a living. So, this comes from my story, a challenge that I faced where
Mhm.
sometime in like 2000 towards the end of 2018 and beginning of 2019 I started feeling a kind of emptiness. you know uh, I had everything which the society thinks is good enough, a good job, a great family, everything that a person could be happy about, but still I started feeling very empty. And it went to a stage where I whenever I got up in the morning I used to feel why my contract on this planet was even extended for that day. So if you understand what I mean, I didn't know why I was even getting up in the morning. So this went on for like almost 1.5 years. And then sometime in 2000 mid 2020 I was listening to a podcast where Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, modern day Chanakya, so he was talking about Swadharma. Swadharma is identifying one's own purpose or natural strength. So that is when I realized that I need to identify my Swadharma, or you can call it in various names. It's called Ikigai, or passion, purpose, natural strength, Swadharma. So various names, but they all kind of mean the same, or they're very similar. So that is when I realized if education is not allowing me to be happy, and if this is the pain I am getting even after being educated, so called educated, then there is something wrong with the education. If I am not prepared to handle life, then what is the root cause? So we could treat the symptoms, but the root cause is education. That's when our identity gets formed, and that, like, those are the formative years. So that's why I decided that my vision would be to see a world where our children are prepared for life and to face real world challenges and not just prepared to make a living. So yeah, this is my vision, and my mission is to uh, bring about educational agility. That is, to bring the benefits of lean and agile mindset and practices to the Indian education system. So it's not just about the what and how. So lean and agile talks about the processes to be followed and how it needs to be followed. So I would like to go one step further. It's not just the why and what and how, but also the who. The who is the identity. So if we can change a person, if we can bring changes inside out, that is true change. And just just teaching people about follow this process, do this in this way. It's good. I don't say it's not working, but to really bring about a change, it is an identity shift that is needed. So that's the who. So that's what I plan to bring about.
That's amazing. And those are some deep questions you have started asking yourself, and you found your vision, your mission. Right? That's really amazing. Now, when you talk about beyond academic excellence, what is it all about? When you say beyond academic excellence, why would somebody need to go beyond academic excellence? Like academics, somebody has been great
Mhm.
and got into career. I'm sure they will be great. Now, what is beyond academic excellence for you, and why is it important?
Okay, academic excellence alone, I feel, is not enough. Um Generally, what we focus on in the education system is academics and some amount of sports. Uh,
Hmm.
and yeah, there are people who also focus on, let's say, music or cultural activities and so on. But that is not enough. So there are 10 key areas. There are a lot, but in my opinion, there are 10 key areas that we need to focus on beyond academic excellence. So that's the reason I've clearly mentioned it as beyond. I mean, academic excellence is also important, but there are other areas beyond that. So the first one is character, building character, and then holistic health, the
Hmm.
second one. So let me just list it down, and probably you can we can go deeper into each of them. And the third one is wealth mindset. I'm not talking about financial literacy, wealth mindset first, and then financial literacy as well. And the fourth one is entrepreneurial mindset. And the fifth is goal setting. Sixth is time management or priority management. Then seventh would be what else? Yeah, discovering passion or passion and purpose, as I just mentioned. Then eighth would be asking the right questions or how to think. And what else? Mm, Let me recollect. Those 10.
Hmm.
Yes, finding the right mentors. So
Okay.
that's the ninth. And then 10th would be providing the right environment, being in the right environment. So yeah, these are the
Great.
10.
So when you say these are the 10, so if somebody is focusing on these 10 areas, can they get success in their careers?
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay.
Maybe we could kind of get into each of them.
Right. So first thing you said was character. Now, why does somebody need to build a character? Isn't it a natural process?
No. So this
Okay.
needs to be built over time. And maybe I can tell you some of the examples of someone with a great character. Having ownership, taking responsibility, and being in the mid-career field. I'm very sure you would agree that even as managers, how many times have we felt a person reporting to us how we wish they had good ownership instead of
Mhm.
being just an instruction taker. So how much of a load it would lift us out of. So mental toughness, then being honest or integrity, high level of integrity. Uh, and I'm sure you would agree that in our careers, how much integrity is important. So integrity, mental toughness, and then what else? High self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
So all this are kind of building blocks. So without these, our careers would be kind of hollow, and you would kind of just become instruction takers, or just end up saying yes to everything.
Mm-hmm. But what is character as per you? Like when you are defining all these things, what is the
Okay,
real character?
character is who we are at the core. That is how I would like to define character as.
Okay. And
And the level
just
of our
building the character.
success.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So the level of our success is directly proportional to the level of our character. This is what I
Hmm.
believe in.
And I completely agree with you because whatever you are talking about character, I think this is something which is profound. I have been hearing from other successful people as well, right? It's
Hmm.
like Jim Rohn also says this:
Hmm.
success is what you attract by the person you become, right? So it's all about building
Exactly.
the character. Hmm.
Exactly.
And
So, even from the golden circle, right? Who, how, and what. So, the who is the most important.
yeah, so basically, like, why do you want to do it based on who you are, right?
Yes.
So the
Yeah. Why?
character.
Why? Of course, why? But yes, I mean, another kind of circle here, not exactly the golden circle, but yes, the who, uh, how, and what.
Hmm. Hmm. And like, how can somebody build that character? Like, what are the main areas that they need to focus on as per you?
So this is built over a long time, where see for we uh, teach our children. We protect them too much, and then we don't kind of see failure is not encouraged.
Hmm.
So we need to tell them that it is okay to fail and then bounce back. So failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. So we need
Yeah.
to fail, then fail forward.
So
This is
basically,
one. This is
building.
one. In my
Mhm.
opinion, this is one great way of uh, building character.
Okay. So this is more of building mindset, what we are talking about here.
Yes, building
Okay.
the right mindset. Then mental toughness. So all this come as part of the learning,
Hmm.
and of
Okay.
course, parents and the teachers are also role models in uh, in building character, especially when it comes to integrity, being honest. So if as parents, if we don't set the right example, we wouldn't be able to build integrity in our children.
Hmm. And why would integrity be important for anybody in a corporate world?
So integrity, like you could cheat, right? I mean, you could there are possibilities where you could use the wrong practices to just gain a sale. um, I wouldn't want to get into the depths of
The
it, but
details
you
of
know
it.
what
Yeah.
happens. Yeah, what happens
Right.
in the
Got it.
industry.
Got it. The other thing you were talking about, you listed about 10 of those, right? And one of those things was health. And what about health is, what is this? Are you talking about health here? Like, why health is
Hmm.
important if you have to, like, get success in your careers?
So by health I mean holistic health. It is
Mhm.
physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So all aspects of our health need to be paid attention to. We need
Mhm.
to combine our ancient knowledge as well as the modern technological advancements to achieve health. And in terms of our career or professions, I'm sure we would not be able to perform to our best if we are not healthy holistically, because those challenges will be troubling us, whether it is physical, mental, emotional. So these are especially holistic health needs to be encouraged from childhood. The right eating habits, the I would say right habits, not just eating habits.
And when you say emotional health, right, there is something called as emotional intelligence that we keep talking in the corporate world. Leaders should be emotionally intelligent. How is this connected? What is this emotional health all about?
So yeah, I have actually put that like emotional intelligence, being able to handle our own, recognize, acknowledge, and handle our emotions. So that's part of the emotional health which I have um, spoken about as the one of the key areas.
Okay, and what about the spiritual health? Do you mean by religion here when you talk about spiritual health?
No, so religion is the peel of the banana, and spirituality is the banana itself. You can say you peel out all religions, the core is the same. So spirituality is like just being a good human. And spiritual practices here, I don't like, I am also not in, I'm not very much aware of any spiritual practices, but a simple meditation, or being of service to others, to the world. So that itself is being spiritual, helping others.
Right. Yeah. Being aware of oneself
Exactly.
itself. Right. And you have been talking about, when you started, you spoke about your vision, your mission, and you also spoke about passion here. Right. Why is it
Hmm.
important for somebody to follow their passion or their purpose?
Okay. Having a purpose gives us a reason to get up in the morning with gratitude that our contract on this planet has been extended by one more day. We all know it's a contract. So,
Right.
yes, discovering our purpose, talking in terms of career and profession, or even studies, discovering our strengths will help us choose the right subjects and the right profession. And as a mid-career coach, you would have seen many professionals stuck in their careers and not interested in what they are doing, because they just chose a career which looked lucrative, and but didn't resonate with who they are at the core. So a lot of friction, a lot of suffering can be avoided if we are able to recognize our natural strengths and pursue them. And another aspect is like discovering all this will help us add immense value to the world, because we know we like it. And uh, okay, it's not just like, but there is a kind of drive that comes with discovering our passion.
But what if somebody is already making some good money in whatever job they are doing? Still, do you think
Oh,
they need to discover their purpose and passion?
wonderful question, Fatah. So I would like to explain this with a story of Andre Agassi, um, the I think world number one tennis player for a long time.
Yep.
So he was number one, but from his personal in his personal life, he was getting into depression, and he started feeling very empty. And it went to a stage where his performance also dropped, and he went
Mhm.
to like three digit numbers in terms of world ranking. And uh, I think I don't know the full story, but yeah, he probably consulted some medical experts, or probably he introspected and found that his like he wanted to help children, um, probably the underprivileged children, or there is a particular category of children. So that's where he started an organization, and he started playing. and he used to channelize the funds or the prize money that he was getting into this organization. So he again rose to number one, and this time he had a purpose. So
Hmm.
he played, but it was not for himself, but it was for the organization, or the drive that he had, the purpose that he had.
That's a very good example that you have shared here. Like doing it for a purpose, right? Finding that
Yes,
purpose and then doing it, which will help to get that fulfillment and also success in life. Now, what
exactly.
is
Yeah.
wealth mindset as per you? Right? When you talk about
Okay.
wealth mindset, you said that it's not financial literacy. So, what is
Yeah.
wealth mindset and why is it important?
Okay. So wealth mindset. To explain this, I can tell you the example of a context and content. So your context is the let's say the cup that you have, and the content is what you can, let's say you are filling water into the mug. So if we have limited context and we start pouring water there, at a certain point it starts overflowing. So we need to expand our context, and that's where the right mindset about wealth comes into picture. So in having the right mindset means, we don't have limiting beliefs about wealth and money. And yeah, we need to let go of some of the limiting beliefs which we have been kind of programmed since childhood. So let me give you an example. Money is the root cause of all evil, or money is biased. uh, there should be a limit on the wealth a person can make, and so on. I'm sure you would agree. Probably you could also tell me some examples where you would have faced it in your life.
Yeah, there are so many, right, limiting beliefs like like greedy people want to make more money, right, and rich people are like not good, right? They are selfish. So a lot of, I think, mindset or limiting beliefs about wealth, about wealthy people. I think this is
Exactly.
this is good. So
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 we
it's
call
all
it like
about the
filth.
right mindset.
Exactly. We've used these terms called filthy rich, stinking rich, right?
Yeah, sneaky
So,
rich.
yeah.
Yeah.
So these have been around for centuries. But now we need to teach our children that these are examples of oxymorons: filthy and rich, stinking and rich. So, two opposite meaning words placed next to each other. So, this is very important, building the right mindset about wealth and recognizing the forms of wealth that we have. It's not just uh, physical, it's not just money. So there are various aspects to wealth. For example, food is wealth. Um, Being aware of our own strength, that is wealth. Then our children are wealth. So in the Hindu tradition, we talk about Ashtalakshmi, like eight forms of Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the entity representing wealth in the Hindu tradition. So there are eight forms of wealth.
Hmm, interesting. And you talk about something really strange here when we are talking about corporate professionals, their growth, and all of that. You are talking about one of the areas to focus is entrepreneur mindset. Now, somebody
Exactly.
who is in a job, why should they have entrepreneurial mindset here?
Okay. An entrepreneur, a simple definition is someone who solves problems.
Right.
So we need to have those problem solving abilities. And it's not just, somebody gives me some task and I finish it. So I really like how Ron Malhotra puts it. There is nothing wrong in being an employee, but there is everything wrong in having an employee mindset, saying, this is my scope, this is what I will do. That's it. So uh, that mindset, right? That shouldn't be there.
Hmm. But still, people can grow with that mindset, right? Isn't it?
They can, definitely they can. But
Yeah.
if we have to achieve true success and faster, I would definitely encourage having an entrepreneurial mindset. And
Mhm.
yeah, I have actually put this when I actually spoke about beyond academic excellence. This was from the point of view of children and youth.
Mhm.
So
Right.
it's not just life is not just about getting into a job and settling there.
Mhm.
So building this entrepreneurial mindset, which uh, some of the advantages I can tell you here is, it makes us resourceful, being able to do some things with whatever resources we have. And it brings about hidden talents. When we have an entrepreneurial mindset, we look at solving problems in different ways or faster ways. So brings about that problem solving abilities as well. So
Right.
there are a lot of advantages, and I'm very sure, like even if we are an employee, it's very important to have problem solving abilities and being resourceful as well. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't
Yes. So,
mean that you need to actually become an entrepreneur.
yeah, I agree with you. And I think one of the important abilities of an entrepreneur is like taking ownership. So, as an
Mhm.
employee, if you start taking ownership, think that increases your scope of growth and you can grow faster.
Exactly.
So that is good. And you talk about goal setting, right? Why is goal setting
Yes.
important? I have my work that is coming to me on a day to day basis. If I am an employee, right, I have my job that is coming, work that is coming to me, and then I have my yearly appraisal that is already set for me. So why should I set goals? Why is it important?
Good question. If we don't set a goal for ourselves, we'll be part of somebody else's goal.
Hmm.
we need
Interesting.
we need to have a goal for ourselves, our growth. And growth could be in all aspects, um, relationship, career, finances, health. We need to set goals on all these areas. And
So
yeah,
just
it
career
is,
goals
yeah.
alone will not help.
Yes.
Okay. And what all areas can we set goals on, basically?
um, in my opinion, it could be, health, personal goals, finance goals, and growth goals.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the four areas which I can think of.
Okay. And you have been talking about time management. One thing about, especially when it's a corporate employee, right? There's already a time management there. Like 9 hours, you come for job, you go out of job. So your time is already managed. Why should somebody learn or implement time management in their careers and life?
Yes. So time or priorities. So time is a limited currency that we are all born with. Every person, from a homeless person to a billionaire, all of us have 24 hours. So how is it that a billionaire is able to make so much, create so much wealth? It is
Mhm.
by increasing the value of their time. And we need to treat time as energy. Time is money, and time is an allocation that we give. And um, when we say we don't have time, it essentially means we are not giving it priority.
Hmm.
So that's why time management or priority management is very important. And we need to allocate time for ourselves, the me time, where we spend time for introspection or rejuvenation. And the family time, which is that's also very important, family time or vacation time. And as someone, work as a working professional, learning time. I think we are not giving the due importance to learning, lifelong learning, which is, cannot stress enough on how important it is.
Okay, and since you run this podcast called Learn and Unlearn, so when we are talking about learning, like you speak about learn and unlearn. So why should
Uh,
somebody unlearn? If I have already learned a lot of things, why should I unlearn and then again learn? Can't I keep learning continuously?
yeah, that's a very good question. What gets us to one level will not get us to the other level. So for example, if we are, let's say, moving from a talking about the software industry, moving, let's say, from a technical lead to a project manager, we can't use the same skills. Like, we might be exceptional at being a technical lead, but when we move to a project management role, the whole scenario is different. So we need
Hmm.
to unlearn that. I had one of my managers tell me earlier, when I moved to a senior kind of project manager role. He was one of my mentors. So he told this to me. What, like, you have to come out of the developer mindset, because I used to think from a very technical perspective. So now, as a project manager, we need to think from a different perspective. The same thing when we get to the leadership level, it's a whole different game altogether. So what got us to one level will not get us to the next level.
And how can somebody unlearn it? Because now, say for example, 15 years you have been into technical, right? Maybe doing some coding, and you get
Hmm.
into a different level. You said now the role is different, responsibilities are different, right? So how can somebody unlearn and then again relearn? How can this process be done?
A simple way, but it's not as simple as it sounds, is an identity shift. We need to change. We have to come out of that image that we had earlier. So of course it's not easy. We need to, it comes with practice and time, of course. But one of the surest ways is, now we need to get into that hat, or switch our identity.
So we need to make an identity switch totally here. Like when you say identity switch, it is all about mindset.
It's about mindset, or the beliefs that we have, the biases that we have. um, so yeah, we need to make a deliberate attempt to switch to that new identity.
Hmm. And how can somebody overcome this challenge? If somebody has been like 25 years, 30 years, right? And they have learned. And now when you
Mhm.
say unlearn, it becomes really challenging for them to do that, right? And maybe they will not be able to proceed into the learning until they unlearn. So how do you actually help them to unlearn?
Uh, at least I don't have a straightforward answer, but it does take time. There are many limiting beliefs, which kind of take years to go. It's through deliberate, consistent practice is what I can think of.
Okay. And one quick question here is like, do they work on the skills part or do they work on the mindset part if they have to do this shift between learning, unlearning, and all of that? What according to you is important here?
Okay. It is context and content again. First,
Mhm.
change the context, expand our context. That is, if we have to hold more, let's say a mug has to hold more water, or you want to like store more water, get a bigger mug. So expand the context, put more content, expand the context again. It's a cycle. It's a cyclical process where we need to keep expanding the context and then putting more content. So skills is more from the content part, but the mindset is part of the context.
Hmm. Interesting. And you also talk about mentors. Having right mentors is one of the key areas people need to focus. Now, if I
Mhm.
have been successful in my academics, I have excelled always in my academics, and
Mhm.
maybe in career also, I'm right now doing good. Why should
Mhm.
I need a mentor here?
Mentors, collapse time for us,
Mhm.
because they have been there, done that. They have experienced uh, a lot of ups and downs in their life, and what they do is condense years of their experience. and help in accelerating our journey. And of course, I mean, there are people who believe in DIY, do it yourself. But do we have all the time in the planet? And it's a very short life. So if we
Right.
want to achieve something, then what we need is time. We need to buy time. Again, talking about time management, and it again links to the wealth mindset as well. So we need to buy time, and the one of the best ways to buy time is having the right mentor who can coach us and accelerate our journey.
But what if somebody is already successful in their career? Because a lot of people tell me like, Fatah, I'm already a manager. Fatah, I'm already like senior manager. I'm already earning like 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs. Why should I
Mhm.
need a mentor in my life? I'm all good. So what do you have to
Okay.
say for these people, or why should these people need a mentor in life?
No, for them it's not needed. So it's like, if there is no pain, if they are happy with where they are, that's fine. So it's like the Coast Guard. They save people who actually swim towards them. Like if there
Hmm.
is a boat capsizing, there are many people, and the Coast Guard comes in a helicopter. They can take only, let's say, 10 people. So whom do they save first? The people who swim towards them. So, uh, if people are happy, if they don't feel the pain, that's fine. They don't probably need a mentor. But people
Hmm.
who really want to are facing a pain, or they want to really accelerate their journey, then a right mentor is definitely needed.
Right. And you talk about environment as well. Like, why is environment very important for people here?
Yes. So I'm not sure who exactly said this, but uh, tell me who your friends are. I'll tell you who you are. Or you can say we are the average of the people we surround ourselves with.
Right.
So having the right environment is very important. If there are people who pull us down, or if we are in the company of people who have a kind of mediocre mindset, they will pull us down. Even if we, from our side, if we are, even if we intend to succeed or excel, they will pull us down. So no
Hmm.
matter how much willpower we have, our environment is stronger than our willpower.
Hmm. So
And there
how
is
do you
one more
choose the
example.
right? Yeah, go ahead.
So one more example which I recently came across, and I've posted it on my LinkedIn profile as well. If a fish is sick, we don't treat the fish; we treat the water. Because if one fish is sick, there is a possibility of the other fish also being sick. So we need to treat the water, and that's a nice analogy to say, how important our environment is.
Hmm. And in a corporate world, how do you choose that right environment? Because you already have a team, you have your own manager, right? You can't make that shift or change. So how do you choose that right environment?
Yeah, that is challenging, of course. We need to either, like, try to change the environment in which we are. If we have control, let's say as a project manager or somebody in the leadership position, uh, we need to hire the right people. So when I say right people, I would say attitude, being open. So that is more important than the technical knowledge, because we can find people with good technical knowledge, but if they are people who kind of pull down the team, then they become bad apples. So
Hmm.
having the right team, building the right team is very important.
And as a leader, when you have bad apples in the team, so is that also causing an issue for the team to grow?
Definitely, if a person pulls down the kind of the energy of the team, then definitely it's time to let him go.
Hmm. Interesting, and I think this is very important as well. And you talk about in your post in the social media, you talk about collaboration versus competition. Now,
Mhm.
this is a very competitive world. Why should somebody like collaborate? Why can't they compete and then still win and then be successful in their lives?
Okay. So, first of all, collaboration has been recognized as one of the key 21st century skills by the World Economic Forum report that came. So, we need to build that in our children. Of course, it's at all levels. And what I believe is competition comes from a lack mindset, either or. So, you know, that comes from a lack mindset where uh, like we don't believe like we can succeed without kind of putting down others. So let's assume we have a treasure. Like you have a treasure and your friend has a treasure, and that treasure is enough to last our whole lifetime. So would you still compete? It's about collaboration. So it's not about competition. Competition comes from a lack mindset again.
Okay. And how do you actually work on collaborations in the corporate world? Like, because there's a lot of competition, right? Everybody wants to grow.
Mhm. Collaboration, as a team effort. So we build things together as a team. We succeed as a team. And if there are failures, yes, we accept that responsibility, learn from that, and move on. So it's a culture, again, which agile mindset and practices greatly help in building a collaborative team, a self-organized team.
And you have mentioned about agility couple of times during our conversation, and you also work on this initiative called Education Agility. What is
Mhm.
this all about?
Okay. It's about bringing the benefits of lean and agile uh, mindset and practices to the education system. And lean and agile have been proven to be beneficial in a lot of sectors. It started with manufacturing. Now it's extensively used in the software industry and across domains as well. You name it, travel, finance, all the domains are. It's helping in all the domains. So if it is being used and it's helping in all the industries, why can't it help in the education industry?
And how
So
do you
that's
implement this? How do you implement this? When you say education industry, agility, how do you implement agility? Can you give some quick example here?
okay. So as a teacher or the facilitator, uh, the teacher or facilitator works with the students on the vision. So within the agile, I'm just using some agile terminology. We have epics, features, and stories, right? Stories and then tasks. So epic, you can say it's kind of a vision. So from an educational perspective, the teacher and the students work on the can say the what and the why, uh, and the how is that is from the execution perspective. So student teams define the how. So teacher doesn't tell how you need to do it. So again, that's left to the students. From a, let's say you consider project based learning, where we have student teams, and then each student team defines how they would be executing that project. So now, if you can see, it all ties back to the areas which I have mentioned: having an entrepreneurial mindset, thinking independently, being a problem solver. So all these abilities are also being bringing agile to education will help in building all these qualities in children.
And you also run this podcast called Learn and Unlearn. What is it all about?
It's again part of my vision. So what I do is bring people not just from the education field, but uh, y- you know from like people experts from uh, various domains. So recently, there was I had called a habits expert, because it's very important to build the right habits from a young age. Then there was an entrepreneur, a very young entrepreneur, like a 23-year-old entrepreneur. So I had invited her. So these are all people who would help. Uh, so my target audience is mainly parents, teachers, and children. So I really hope I'm able to inspire people through my podcast.
Yeah, definitely. I think you are doing some wonderful job out there on the podcast as well, and you have a great intent, and the vision is really good. So I'm sure like you will be able to get to whatever you are doing and get success in what you are doing, right? So, Gautam, it was like wonderful conversation having you here and talking about how people can look at beyond academic excellence, especially the 10 pointers you spoke about, the key areas of focus, right? And yeah, it was amazing. And before we conclude on this particular episode, do you have anything that you want to share with the audience?
Yes. So if we are not growing, we are dying. We need to have a lifelong. We need to have this mindset of lifelong learning. We should never stop learning, and of course, unlearning as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all I
profound.
had.
Simple yet powerful. So thank you for being here and then sharing all that knowledge and experiences and those amazing tips which people can use and the areas that they can focus to get success in their careers and life. And thank you everybody for joining us and watching us live. And for people who are going to watch us later as well, thank you for watching us. And I'm sure you are going to enjoy this conversation where Gautam has shared 10 key areas that you can focus so that you can get success in your career and life. So thank you, Gautam. Thanks, everyone, and have a great night.
Thank you, Fatah.